Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to discuss the topic is nasogastric feeding procedure. Okay, so we will see the definition. NGT feeding is providing food by way of a catheter is passed through the nose or mouth through the pharynx down the esophagus and into the stomach, slightly beyond the cardiac sphincter. So we know in the hospital, some patients cannot eat or swallow properly. Doctors will advise to insert NGT2 for the patient. So either doctor or nurse they will insert this tube. Okay, this where this tube is going. This going through the nose and into the stomach. Okay, then we can provide. This we can provide food as well as medication to the patient. Okay, next is what are the materials and equipments needed for this NGT feed. Okay, nasogastric tube of appropriate size, clear calibrated reservoir for feeding fluid, syringe 50 cc, stethoscope, disposable gloves, sterile water for irrigation, disposable pad or towel. Okay, now we can move to the procedure. First we have to explain the procedure to the patient. Okay, why we will explain the procedure? Because some patients they are more anxious about the procedure. So we while explaining the procedure, maybe we can relieve their anxious, and it can help also for cooperation and provides reassurance for the patients. Okay, next is assemble equipments and bring to bedside table. So we need to collect all the equipment to the bedside table. Make also we have to make sure the patient bedside table is sterile. Okay. Next is check the type and quantity of feed as ordered. Remove the feed from refrigerator 1 hour before use. Okay, so do not give feed cold. Okay, so cold feed don't try to avoid, because sometimes this cold feed can cause stomach upset. So better to avoid this cold feed to the patient. Wash hands and wear gloves. Okay, before any procedure we will do, we need to wash our hands to prevent the spread of microorganism, and gloves also we need to wear because it can protect from exposure to body fluid. Okay, next is position the patient upright or elevate the head of bed at least 30 degree or 45 degree. Okay, why we will elevate the head of bed? To minimize the possibility of aspiration into the trachea. Next is nasogastric tube must be in correct position and properly fixed before commencing gavage feeding. Okay, always when before giving this nasogastric tube feeding, we have to make sure whether this nasogastric tube is there in correct position or not. Okay, because there's a chance to get aspiration, so we need to check. Okay, check proper for positioning of the nasogastric tube before commencing feeding. You can use AAA system. Normally I'm using this system to ensure NGT tube is in correct position. Okay, first is a we can is assessor. We can just assess the patient. If patient has any trouble for speaking, if it is like that, that means it is in the respiratory tract. And next is A means air. Just we can check the distance of the tube in the water and observe any air bubbles. And if it is indicated there is any air bubbles, that is tube is not in the stomach. Okay. Next A is aspirate a small amount of gastric contents and check for pH, color and consistency. Okay. Next is the flow of feeding should be slow. Do not apply pressure. Elevate reservoir 6 to 8 inches above the patient head. Check proper positioning of the nasogastric tube before commencing feeding. The flow of feeding should be slow. Don't give, very fast, because it can cause abdominal distension. Okay, so you have to give the feeding very slowly. Okay, then do not give medication with feeding. Crush medicines into fine powder and mix them with 5 ml of water. Okay, we will while giving medication with feeding, we have to crush the medication into into a fine powder and mix them with 5 ml of water. Okay. Administer the medication with a syringe. Multiple medication should not be given one at a time. Next is, if residual gastric contents exceed half of the total amount of feed, you have to hold the feeding and we have to inform the physician. Next is, formula taken too rapidly will interfere with the peristalsis, causing abdominal distension and regurgitation. Already I explained to you this one. Why we will not give this feed more too rapidly, because it can cause abdominal distension and it can interfere with the peristalsis movement and regurgitation. Clamp the catheter before air enters the stomach and it can also cause abdominal distension. Okay, so after giving the feed, just we have to clamp the catheter so that the air it will not enter inside the to enter the stomach and cause abdominal distension. When feeding is completed, the catheter may be irrigated with clean water. Okay, always after finishing the feeding, we have to clean the catheter with the clean water. Before the fluid reaches the end of the catheter, clamp it off and keep it in place for next feeding. Rinse equipments with warm water and dry. Replace every 24 hours or as per our policy. Maintain head of the bed elevated 30 to 60 minutes after feeding is completed. If continuous feeding, maintain head elevator continuously. Okay. After the feeding also we have to elevate the head of the bed. Okay. Head of bed should be elevated at least 30 to 60 minutes. Observe patient during the procedure. Report any evidence of feed intolerance, example abdominal discomfort, pain, distension, vomiting and diarrhea. Document the date, time, type and quantity of the feed and amount of the water in the intake output. Okay, we have to document the date and time and type of the quantity of feed and amount of water in the intake and output chart. Okay, that's all. I hope this video will be helpful for all. Thank you.